National Women's Day. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. My name is Taylor. I'm a writer for Revolution newspaper and a co-initiator of RefuseFascism.org. We are here because Donald Trump and Mike Pence are haters of women. This is a woman who just a few years ago, she was a dentist in Ireland. She needed an abortion. She had a wanted pregnancy. She wanted the child, but there was a complication along the way, and her body began to miscarry, but the fetus was still alive. And she went to the hospital, and the anti-abortion hospitals and the anti-abortion laws mandated that the doctor could not facilitate her abortion and save her life. And she got blood poisoning. She got sicker and sicker, hour after hour. The whole world watched as she died. Sabina is one of 70,000 women every year or more who die from illegal abortions, from lack of safe abortion care. And Donald Trump is one of the very first acts he did. One of the very first acts he did, in addition to banning Muslims, in addition to threatening Mexicans and calling them rapists, in addition to unleashing his deportation squads, in addition to lying and lying and lying and threatening the press and the courts, he signed what is called the Global Gag Rule, which denies funding to health services and family planning around the world if they even so much as refer women to safe abortion care. With the stroke of a pen, Donald Trump condemned thousands and thousands of women to death. This is what's happening now, and millions of women to forced motherhood, to foreclosed lives, to a form of female enslavement. We are here because we are furious and we are determined that you will not slam women back to those days. So I am wearing these pants, these blood-stained pants for the women who have bled to death and died from illegal abortions. We have extra pants, and we are asking people to come out, put on a pair. And we have a sexual predator in the White House. It's 2017.
Unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. It's illegitimate. It's 2017, and they're trying to slam women back to the back alleys. They're trying to take away not only abortion, but birth control. Now let me tell you, all these anti-abortion fanatics, Mike Pence and the rest of them, and Donald Trump, who recently said that women should be punished for getting an abortion, they like to come out and say they're pro-life. They like to pretend that it's about babies. But let's do a little science 101. Repeat after me. Fetuses are not babies.
Fetuses are not babies.
Unborn.
Fetuses are not babies.
And fetuses are not babies.
Abortion is not murder.
Abortion is not murder.
Abortion is not murder.
Abortion is not murder.
And women are not incubators.
And women are not incubators.
Women are not incubators.
Women are not incubators.
They like to pretend that they're concerned about babies. This is a lie. The anti-abortion movement, the Christian fascists in the halls of power, they don't give a damn about life. They are concerned with control over women. That is all they're concerned with. They are outraged. They want women to return to being breeders of children and possessions of men, just like the Old Testament literally interpreted. They are Christian fascists, and I do not say that as an insult. I say that because they believe in the Old Testament, literally, just like the Islamic fundamentalists do. only they're Christian fascists, and they are in the halls of power here. They are in the halls of power here, and they are deadly serious. And one of the ways you know that it's not about babies, one of the ways you know it's about control over women, is that all of the anti-abortion groups, all of them in power, all the judges they try to appoint, who graduated from Liberty University and the rest like this, they all oppose birth control. They all oppose birth control. And you see this coming out more and more. They're spreading their lies saying the pill is not safe. The pill is safe. You know what's not safe is having a sexual predator in the White House.
Yeah.
You know what's not safe is signing that global gag rule and sending thousands of women to their deaths around the world. You know what's not safe is sitting at home thinking it can't happen here, thinking we've come too far, they'll never push us back, sitting back home and letting them roll over us and all of humanity. That is what's not safe. So it is so important that you are out here today. It is so important you are out here today. We are here and we need to stay here. People have been asking me, oh, what good does protest do? What good does protest do? I'll tell you something. Right now, and we have to confront this, they love to belittle. Oh, you protested. Oh, you were out there in your pink hats. Oh, you were there after the inauguration. That massive protest the day after the inauguration, it defied this administration. It showed the people of the world that he is illegitimate, that he is hated, that he is despised, and that there are millions in this country and around the world who will not stand for what he's trying to do. It's very important. And that protest on the Women's March created a mood where when Donald Trump, signed that Muslim ban, people were not in a mood to sit home. And they flooded to the airports. How many of you guys went out to the airports? How many of you guys? Let's give them some applause. That was important. And let me tell you something. Tens of thousands at the airports. Do not think for a second that Donald Trump would have been pushed back and have to be writing a new Muslim ban had it not been for those powerful protests. But here's a very heavy thing. The protest is righteous, it's important, it's beautiful, and we need more of it. But on its own, it is not yet enough. It is not enough. Because I'll tell you, Donald Trump and Mike Pence, Steve Bannon, Steve Miller, all of them, they're not just a bunch of racists, although they are. They're not just a bunch of women haters, but they are. They're not just a bunch of world-class liars, even though they are. These people, this regime, is fascist. And I do not say that as an insult, I say that in a scientific sense. Fascism is not just a combination of reactionary policies, the worsening of everything this country has done to the oppressed and taking it even more extreme. It's all of that, but it's more than that. Fascism is a remaking. It's a different form of rule. It's a remaking and restructuring of the government, of the state, in such a way that it undermines and takes away people's democratic rights. The right to dissent, the right to be on the street and protest, the right to cover and expose their lies. What did Donald Trump say when he was caught lying and the media exposes him? He says you're fake news. He says you're enemies of the people. This is a fascist speaking. What did Donald Trump say when the court said the Muslim ban was unconstitutional? He said it's a so-called judge. And he sent his hitman, Steve Miller, out into the news and the media to say, one of his top advisors to say the president's power is substantial and will not be questioned. He sent his people out there. He sent his people out there to say that we're remaking things, that it's going to be up to King Trump. It's going to be up to Mein Trump, El Fuhrer in this country. And he's trying to remake the country and the laws so that not only do they get away with deporting 11 million, not only do they get away with banning Muslims, not only do they get away with slamming women back to the back alleys and to the shame that was heaped on them, but where the whole structures of government and the state closed down any ability for anybody to challenge him. This is very dangerous. This is on the order of what Hitler did. Only Donald Trump has nuclear weapons and a much greater surveillance state and police state than Hitler had when he came to power. So this is why RefuseFascism.org. This is why RefuseFascism.org has four things that we have put out that everybody needs to recognize. One, the protest is necessary for all of us. Whatever movement you're part of, or if you've never been in a movement before, we need to take up the single unifying objective to drive this regime from power. To drive them from power. To drive them out. Because fascism has direction and momentum. And they will not stop. You're busy protesting one front, and he signs 10 more executive orders in the same breath. And meanwhile, he's undermining the ground you have to stand on to fight back. They have to be driven out. That has to be all of our unifying mission before it is too late.
Impeach him.
He needs to be driven out. Whatever form, he needs to be driven out. Number two, you see this sign that says no. Everybody with a no sign, hold it up. Hold it up. This no is a rejection of everything Trump and Pence stand for. Everything. It's saying we won't work with you. Bernie Sanders said, I'll work with Trump on jobs, but I'll oppose him on that racist stuff. You can't work with fascists. It normalizes them. That's like saying I'll work with Hitler when he built the Autobahn, and then I'll oppose him when he starts to round people up. That's bullshit, okay? We say no. Don't accommodate.
You can be a little bit pregnant.
Don't accommodate. Don't conciliate. Don't normalize. Don't work with fascists. That no has to be a symbol that spreads everywhere. That's number two. The more that no gets seen, the more we see our power and our strength. Yes, during the protest, but every day. Take the no, get it in signs. Get signs in the windows of businesses in your neighborhood. Wear the sticker. Get the button. Take it with you everywhere. Spread the no. Number three, every act, every outrage that this regime carries out, every crime they commit, people have to hit the streets. We cannot get jaded and normalized to their crimes. Every outrage has to be met with greater and greater resistance.
What's going on with the ACA? I'm a nurse. That's very
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And number four, all of this is working and getting organized, and all of you here today need to be getting organized with RefuseFascism.org or whatever movement you work with in conjunction with us. Getting organized for the time and the moment when millions and millions of people can be led to go into the streets and stay in the streets, night after night, day after day, refusing to leave until this regime is driven from power.
That's right.
And I mean that, very literally. They did this not long ago in South Korea. People went into the streets night after night after night, millions of them, and created a situation where the president had to get impeached. People did this in Egypt 6 years ago.
In Argentina,
They went,
2001.
there you go, they went into the streets. Now listen,
We can do it.
that's right, if they can do it there, if they can do it in Egypt, if they can do it in South Korea, we here in the United States, in the belly of the beast that is terrorizing the entire globe, in a place that is going to affect the lives of billions of people, women everywhere with this global gag rule, and humanity with Donald Trump's finger on the nuclear button, we need to, in the name of humanity, get organized to be in the streets, stay in the streets, and drive them from power.
Yes. Right.
We have the power to do this. We have the power to do this. They are illegitimate. They are hated. But we have to get organized, and we have to be relentless, and we do not have much time. All it could take is a single incident, real or manufactured. A single incident like the Orlando massacre or 9/11 or something else for Donald Trump to clamp down and revoke people's rights completely. We have a window, and we have to fight with everything we've got.
We see the bills that they and their toadies in Congress are bringing to the fore, and what we see is an effort to enslave and murder the citizens of the United States of America. When you look at this American Health Care Act, what you see is millions upon millions of Americans having their health care stripped from them.
20 million.
What that is going to do is that is going to murder Americans. When you see them talking about refusing to give funding from the federal government to Planned Parenthood unless Planned Parenthood stops providing abortions, what you are talking about is millions upon millions of poor and working class women not being able to get breast cancer screenings, not getting able to get uterine cancer screenings that are affordable. And what that will do is kill millions and millions of American women. This is a regime of murder. We see it in their in choosing Betsy DeVos for the education secretary. They want us dumb. They want us uninformed. They want our children incapable of functioning in the global society so that they cannot support themselves, so that they too die. This is a movement to destroy the poor and working class of this country, to literally legislate the poor and working class people of America into the grave. And unless we stand up against every single thing that they try, because it always comes back to the same thing, killing us.
We're gonna make America great again.
No!
For years, we've gotten the message from the mouthpieces of popular culture that you can have it all. Career, kids, and a two-car garage. Sure, have it all, but your daycare kids get the short end of the emotional stick. I am criticizing a culture that has sold the big lie that motherhood doesn't matter. Aren't we gonna make America great again?
No!
Right.
26,000 unreported sexual assaults in the military, only 238 convictions. What did these geniuses expect when they put men and women together? We're gonna make America great again.
No!
I've never had any trouble in bed. But if I had affairs with half the starlets and female athletes the newspapers link me with, I'd have no time to breathe.
Hey, man,
I'm gonna make America great again.
No!
Just yell a little bit. Just yell a little bit. It helps.
Societal collapse was always brought about following an advent of the deterioration of marriage and family. We have to make America great again.
No!
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 No, no, no! In the name of humanity!
We look back at the people in Nazi Germany. We look back at the good Germans who sat back while Hitler and the Nazis demonized and disappeared one group after the other. First they came for the communists. The people didn't speak up because they weren't communists. Then they came for the Jews, and they didn't speak up because they weren't Jewish. Then they came for the trade unionists. Then they came for the Catholics. And on it went. And we look back. And we judge them. And we judge them. That is one of the darkest chapters of human history. And we look back and say, there's no way you didn't know. How could you have let that happen? Well, here we are, 2017. And Trump and Pence, they are the modern day Hitler. Only they have nuclear weapons. Only they have the sole superpower in the world. And they are itching to use these weapons. They are, with the stroke of a pen, able to foreclose the lives of women with the global gag rule all over the planet. In the name of humanity, we need to do what the German people should have done under Hitler. We need to rise up. We need to drive them out. We need to drive them out. And today on International Women's Day, we need to tap into the fury that every woman has inside of her. Sometimes she chokes on it. A lot of times she turns it inward. She feels shame. She cuts herself. She starves herself. She hates herself. She tries to conform to what this society reduces her to. An object. Something to be used and tossed aside, demeaned and degraded. But here in this movement, and on International Women's Day, for the women here and all over the world, we say break the chains, unleash the fury of women as a mighty force for revolution. That fury is a good thing. It is a righteous thing. And we need that fury now. And everybody, no matter who you are, if you want liberation, if you want a decent world, if you are a man, if you are a woman, if you are trans, whoever you are, if you want freedom, you better want and welcome and foster the fury of women.
Women power now! Women power now!
Women power now! Women power now! Women power now! Women power now! Women power now! Women power now! Women power now! Women power now! Equal pay!
So I will say for myself, I want to let you know, I'm a part of RefuseFascism.org. I want everybody here, whatever perspective you come from, if you're brand new, if this is your first march, if you've been marching for years and years, if you're a part of a group, if you voted for Hillary, if you voted for Bernie, I don't like either of them, but whoever you are, if you know, that's my point, if you know Trump and Pence are fascists, we can disagree on a lot. We need to stand shoulder to shoulder in this movement right now for the people of the world.
We refuse a fascist America! No! No! No, no, no!
In the name of humanity, we refuse a fascist America! No! No! No, no, no! In the name of humanity, we refuse a fascist America!
To be furious!
And we are right to be furious!
We are living in a country!
We are living in a country!
Where sexual predator has taken the seat of power, has bragged about sexual assault, and has told every girl that they are only as valuable as their bodies are attractive to a pig like him. We say no. We say no. We're going to tell the truth. We're going to rely on each of you to be a people's microphone. As we have a speak out.
I want to be paid the same rate as a man. I want to be equal to a man. I don't want to have to be a step below.
I was raised in a home with an extraordinary man who taught me to take up space, who taught me not to shrink myself down, not to make myself smaller to please others, to be kind, to be strong, and a mother who taught me to never compete with other women, to not be petty, to build each other up. Because when we boost each other up, it becomes a ladder that lifts us all.
I was raised, what was your name? Kaylee. Unlike Kaylee, I was raised in a home where I was taught, pro-life, and I was raised in a very Republican family. I decided to veer off of that route because I realized if you can't even respect the people who are living, then you're not pro-life, and men should not make decisions for women.
I'm from New Jersey, and I wanted to get out today to do something and make a difference. I didn't like what was going on here. No. So I came here to speak to everybody and say we have to make a difference and come together. Yes. I couldn't believe what happened. Like, Donald Trump, president, what? Right. But I'm like, I have to make a change. My voice needs to be heard. Yes. I'm so happy that we're coming together, and because this is doing something. Yes. Thank you, and keep fighting.
I'm from Tennessee. I'm from Memphis. Man, I love my hometown, but I really, really hate what's going on there right now. I grew up in a public school system that taught abstinence-only education. Do y'all know what that is?
Bullshit!
It's absolute bullshit. And right now, there's a bill in the court that's trying to ban porn. And I'm like, you know what? Porn could be arguably part of the problem, but to me, it's not the problem. The problem is saying that women aren't allowed to express their own sexuality and however you want to express that, as long as you're doing it for yourself, as long as you're expressing yourself, you do what you need to do. And in the meantime, girls, I'm not talking women, I'm talking teenagers, need access to birth control in Tennessee. They need to know what it is. They need to know what condoms are. They need to know these things that in New York are just kind of second knowledge. We all know this. In Tennessee, they are clueless. So please send some love to my sisters, and please send them information. That's it.
I am the daughter of immigrants. I am the mother of children that are immigrants. And as I stand here and I look at all the colors that make America, I feel so happy. It's been really tough 6 weeks, but when I come here and I see what really, makes America, I feel like a warm in my heart. So thank you for being here. Let's stop Trump from criminalizing immigrants. We are all criminalizing immigrants. We are all immigrants. Yes. Thank you.
Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Unfortunately, many of my former countrymen
women, and as far as I can tell, pretty much anyone that's not him. So, for all you Russians out there, but also Americans, Russian Americans, but also Americans, everyone that voted for Trump, good luck with that now. We're all stuck with him. Thanks a lot. And, you know, I just really wanted to get that out there. Yeah. Refugees are people too. Refugees contribute to society. Thank you.
And I was around when Roe v. Wade was first passed, and women were first allowed to have abortions in the 70s. We've become used to having that right. And for this fucking regime to try to take that right away from women is criminal. And it's going to make women third-class citizens that have to be breeders. And I was not a breeder. I made 11 human rights videos and wrote 3 plays. I couldn't have done that if I was burdened with kids. Not that, you know, I don't say the kids are wrong, but this
your choice.
Silencing women is going to have a brutal effect on the entire gender and the entire world. We have to fight them because they just try to put that in the new fucking health care bill that they're trying to pass. Fight them!
I'm really glad that people my age and older and a little bit younger are here with young people because we've got to do this together.
Yes.
I was 21 in 1970, and in those days, if a woman was raped, she had to have a witness in order to have a court case.
Oh, Jesus.
Those were the days when we didn't have abortion. I remember a friend came from out of town by plane. She took the last of her money. She was in an abusive relationship. She got an illegal abortion. I remember taking her by cab, bleeding all over the cab, carrying her into St. Luke's Hospital. She loved children. She couldn't have a child then, and she never had a child. Women don't have abortions because they like having abortions.
Right?
Yes. Women have abortions because they're desperate.
Yes.
And desperate women, when faced with arrest, faced with prosecution, faced with danger, or even being able to find an illegal abortion, kill themselves. They go crazy. They go back to abusive relationships. We need to work together and stay together because I'm watching everything I ever fought for in my life, for anybody, going backwards at full speed.
Yes.
We've got to stop it now. There's no going back.
I am a woman, and I am an exchange student, guys. And I want to speak with my foreign accent because this country is open for everybody.
Yes.
And I want to say, guys, women, men, hold on a little bit here. I am from Russia, and I am not Putin. You are not Trump. And just so you know, guys, Russian women love American women, and international love exists, guys. Thank you.
We say Amanda! Ladies and gentlemen, I am from South Africa, where Nelson Mandela came from. I am very touched about what's going on in this country, but I have only one message. I know apartheid. I was refused education in my country. I was called a monkey. I was ill-treated and harassed and dragged by security forces in my own country in 2000. But all I want to say to all of you is we can protest and we have to, but our power is in our vote.
Yes.
I have watched. I'm a visitor here. I came only about 6 months, and I've watched how people do not vote. Our power is in voting.
Yes.
February 14 was the local elections in New York City. We women have to come out in numbers to liberate ourselves.
Yes.
I am a medical doctor who specializes in radiation oncology. I treat. Amanda means power, power to the people. You cannot win if you don't take power to your hands. Power belongs to the people. People nominate the president. People determine what should take place. You have the power, but your power is in your vote. Amanda.
And now they want a war. They want a war, and they want a ban, and that is wrong. Okay? Humanity, justice, freedom for all. Libertad para toda la gente. Las pobres madres que van a estar separadas de sus hijos. No, no y no.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm shaking right now.
It's all good, Jasmine.
All right. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm an artist, I'm an actress, and I just feel every single one of you right now. After you leave here today, I want you to feel yourself breathing. I want you to look around at people who are in red and look at all the people who know this is going on out here right now, but you're here and you're experiencing this. It's 2017. I just feel you all so much. Everyone who's spoken, everyone who's documenting this is important. It's very important for us to document what's going on today and how we're going to change it for tomorrow. Every single one of you has power, and your voice, your vote, how you're documenting, the conversations you have with your friends. You have so much power as one person, as together. And I look at all my sisters and my brothers who are here supporting us. I just thank you tremendously. You don't know how much this human experience is affecting me. It's moving me, and it compels all of my work. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I'm full, and this fullness, I never want to go away. So thank you all for being here. Thanks for speaking your voice. And I'm here for education and abortions because I had an abortion.
Bless you.
And I changed so much after that. And you know, for a long time I said to myself, no one has to know. You know, what I went through was easy peasy. You know, I did what I had to do. But the education is so important. I didn't know. I myself, as someone who had that, didn't even know people could die from that. I'm so grateful. I'm so damn grateful. Education, voting, and having more than just a voice. I'm just so grateful for everyone.
Thank you.
For tens of thousands of years, women and men lived together, equally. There was no such thing as oppression. There was no oppression of women, and there was no oppression of anybody. People lived together. It is not human nature for men to dominate women.
Nope.
It is not human nature for men to brutalize and demean women. It is not human nature for men to be bullies, to be cruel and callous. And it is not human nature for women to be demure and submissive. Listen, if it was human nature, you wouldn't have to scold little boys and say, man up, don't cry like a girl. If it was human nature, you wouldn't have to bully the sensitivity out of boys. If it was human nature, you wouldn't have to shame women for acting with their own confidence and their own sexuality and their own pride and their own intellect. It's not human nature, okay? But for thousands of years, since patriarchy emerged, since the first forms of class divisions, the first domination and exploitation, women became property. Because once you have class divisions, once you have property and a section of people living off the labor of others, all of a sudden it mattered who inherited what property. And all of a sudden you had men controlling women's reproduction, shaming them if they were not virgins when they got married, and if they didn't have children for their husbands. Okay? This has gone on for thousands of years. Women have been treated as chattel, as property, as the virgin and the whore. And there is no difference between being reduced to the virgin or reduced to the whore.